Being dangerous like a king does not imply having a great physique or rippling muscles or are immaculately dressed at all times or have your finances in complete order. While these are all great traits to develop and possess, having a reputation of being dangerous and possessing a king's personality all comes from the way you think and the way you communicate. You must be clever in your thoughts and you must be articulate in your communication. These are the two most required skills you have to develop. And then everything moves forward from there. Your body, your health, your pockets, your relationships all start to improve only because you know how to think and you know how to communicate. Before I get into today's session, the previous session I covered was why it is important to be dangerous. And in today's session, we will speak about how to become dangerous. The link to the first part of this session is displayed above. So the number one requirement in becoming dangerous and possessing a king's energy is to upgrade your thinking. Okay? Let me share a story with you of a king called Solomon, or better known as Suleiman to the Ottoman people. He was the 10th emperor of the Ottoman Empire and earned himself the reputation as the lawbringer, which earned him the name Suleiman the Magnificent. At the peak of his rule, King Suleiman had a grave dug out for himself, and he went silently one night and lay there in reflection for an extended amount of time. His concept behind this madness was to humble himself and kill the ego and give himself the reality check that this is what is truly the conclusion of life, of struggles or accomplishments. It all comes to an end. Everything. King Suleiman was a master thinker and a clever planner. He brought the Ottoman Empire to become a political, an economical, and a combating powerhouse. He achieved all this while constantly fighting the ego from getting the better of him. His thoughts were elevated. He thought about his people and how to use his power for them. He thought about his country and how to use his knowledge for them. He understood very early that the meaning of life is to be bold and to protect and to guard. To be the voice in the face of abuse and oppression. To be a dangerous man. To be a king. That's what king energy means. Okay? Stand up against abuse. Stand up against oppression. Stand up for your family at all costs and every costs. So let me ask you this. Think of someone you know that can think on their feet. They have quick and sensible responses in conversations. Think of someone who has been raised or then has conditioned himself to take risks. Risks big enough even when his voice shakes in the face of threat. And simultaneously, risks small enough to take the side street in traffic or put that last dollar in a charity box. Do you know someone who you feel completely safe around and you can tell them whatever you want about yourself or about them without hesitation? But you also know that you have to phrase yourself very well because this person can call out your views if they are none of your concern. Do you know a person you could call and ask to give you sensible advice or even ask to accompany you as backup for whatever reasons? If you have such a person in your life, then that's the one who is dangerous. That person resonates king energy on you. When you start thinking, use cognitive thinking to decide what is right and what is wrong before doing anything. If you use cognitive thinking to ensure your decisions are benefiting everyone involved, if you use cognitive thinking to speak only after you have processed all the information in your head and done a quick analysis of how the outcome based on your responses will be, when you take accountability of what you say must always have value and strength to it, thinking before acting and thinking before speaking will expose you to unbelievable powers. And the greatest of all is to possess the power within you to sit still, to have the power in you to contain your anger, to contain your emotions, and to constantly be processing thoughts and conclusions and solutions logically in your head. That's when you are dangerous. Thinking first allows you to remain assertive, remain calm and collected during interactions. Think about how you dress. Dress sharp. I'm not saying flaunt. Just don't be loose. Loose is not dangerous. Being sharp and squared away is dangerous. Being sharp and squared away, this will show people that your mind is awake. Maintain superiority in mind, in character, in ideas, and in morals. Walk with your shoulders erect and thrown back. Walk calm and powerful. Sit straight. Hold a strong posture, but not a condescending posture. You want to be noble, not arrogant. The dangerous ones are so in control of their thoughts completely, the ones that never allow any influences to change their state of composure and posture and reaction. You have complete control over your emotions and expressions and speech. That is where the beauty of a man lays. That's when you know your stuff. That's when you know you are dangerous, and you know that if you want to inflict harm or hurt, you can very well, very easily, very quietly and silently and swiftly do it. But you don't. And you see people like you, people respect people like you because not only can you protect yourself, but you are also the kind of person who will protect anyone who is standing next to you. Be that kind of dangerous, my friend. Be the one that people call in times of adversity. Physical adversity, mental adversity, emotional adversity, financial adversity. Be the guy who has all this under your control. Be the guy who has all this under your power. If anyone decides to mess with you, they also know very well in advance that there is a high possibility that they will get burned, if not reduced down to ashes, if they cross your moral values. While you discipline your thoughts, you must simultaneously discipline your speech. Okay? And this takes me to point number 2. Upgrade your communication. Being able to communicate well is so powerful because you can constantly be dangerous without having to be careful and politically correct. And that is because your thoughts and the way you communicate are in sync. Your mouth will not open until your thoughts are completely processed and give permission to your body and speech to begin communication. Articulate your vocabulary. Speak with assertiveness, but not with attitude and pride. Be a real value man. Don't let the clothes you wear or the car you drive or the phone you carry or the watch you wear to direct and dictate how you carry yourself. These are two very different things that complement each other, but they must never empower each other to surface the ego. Because if you let your external appearance, if you allow your external presence, if you allow your external persona to trigger the ego, then I must tell you that you must contain any triggers to your ego in order to continue enjoying all these luxuries, these blessings in a way so that you never lose them. With wealth and reputation comes great responsibility. And if it's only a show of wealth and high value, then it will continue to remain a farce for as long as you allow these material factors to get into your head. Okay? Learn the rules of engagement and the art of negotiation. There are many master classes that will take your thoughts and your communication to an entirely new level. You must work on this consciously and deliberately. It's not easy to change the way you think or speak. You've been doing it since you were a child, which could be 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago. So that change is not coming easy. But here's the paradox. If you identify the weakness and change the way you think and change the way you communicate, then just the fact that you've begun the change already makes you dangerous. Use your head before speaking or acting or reacting. Learn a new word every single day and work on the way you communicate. Listen and be curious when listening. Ask questions rather than making objections, okay? Think about the way you think. Think about the way you act. Think about the way you dress and the impressions you put out there on other people. Communicate clearly with strong words and strong body language. Don't judge. Be curious. Don't wait to respond and corner anyone in conversations. Carefully listen to what they are saying. These two skills will change your life forever. As I've always been mentioning in all my sessions that cover these topics, this will be tough. I do not promise you it will be easy, but I do promise you that you will never regret it. Okay? Improve your speech, improve your thoughts, and improve your communication, and that will improve your entire life. Stay safe, stay positive, and keep making the wise decisions.